I know that true statistics would probably say this isn't true, but it seems like during this pandemic, I've done a lot more funerals than usual. Maybe it's because they're so different. A lot of graveside services, sometimes family only, sometimes a lot of people but standing spread out. One case broadcast over the radio to people sitting in their cars. Then sometimes in groups, but it's difficult and it's different. Last funeral I did just a couple of days ago for a 29-year-old young man who died of cancer. And every time I do funerals, I think about some things that really matter. And I thought I'd take just a couple of minutes this morning and share real quickly with you some things that funerals always convince me are true. One is that life's hard. You know, I don't know anybody that hasn't had things turn out a little differently than they thought they would. People get sick, and we all have that vision of living to a ripe old age and going to sleep one night and just not waking up, but it rarely happens that way. I've spent way too many hours in hospice and watching people do pain management, old people, young people, and cancer and heart attacks and COVID, and the list goes on and on and on. Life's hard sometimes because of bad choices, sometimes our bad choices, sometimes other people's bad choices, but life's hard and death is certain. Every time I do a funeral, I'm reminded that we're all going to die unless the Lord comes back before we die. But for most of us, we're probably going to die, and people we love die. But I'm also more and more certain that God is real, that He really does love us, that He made us, and He wants us to live with Him forever. I'm more and more convinced that Jesus is the only answer in this life, and the only answer in the life to come. And a couple of things I'm reminded of every time I do a funeral. I want to love the people that matter to me even more intensely. I want to tell them how much I love them. I want to embrace them. I want to help them. I want to share life with them. It is more precious. And maybe it's because I'm getting older. But maybe it just reminds me that I never know when that time will come, when I'll die or one of them will die. And so I end every phone call with, I love you. I say that frequently and often. And it also reminds me to love Jesus intently every day. And I want to also tell you that family really does matter. I see so many funerals when families are estranged or not close, and I see the ones that are close. I love my physical family. I love my spiritual family. So I'm going to tell you that it is true that life is hard and death is certain. But I also want you to know that God is real and so is Jesus. They love you. Jesus died for you. And so I want to encourage you to hang on to your faith in Him, hang on to your family, love passionately the people that matter to you, because someday you will die.